And acoustic neurinoma, 7 cases could be explained by mobile phone use, or the 241 in total, and 2 for cordless phones. Number 20, we have criticized, as you may know, from several sources, mostly by ICNIPR and some interphone persons, but also by Boyce and McLaughlin that work at the International Epidemiology Institute, which seems to be a private organization. They were hired by the Swedish Radiation Protection Agency very soon after publication of results to criticize them. And one of the things they criticized was that we had excluded those who were deceased from the study, and they did never give an explanation why that would confound the results. We only did cases and controls that were living to get as good quality as possible in the data. We have now performed a new case control study on deceased cases in our study, on the more than 2,000 cases. There were 463 cases with a malignant brain tumor that were deceased, mostly gliomas. And we sent a questionnaire to them. 346 or 75% of relatives answered the questionnaire. We had 2 groups of controls, those with no cancer and those with died in cancer, and interviewed relatives in those groups. We had cases and controls that were deceased and interviewed relative groups. So there were almost 1,000, more than 900 relatives controls that were interviewed. We didn't assess what ear had been used mostly, because we think that's extremely difficult for relatives to answer. Next slide, number 21. Here are the results for mobile phones. In total, we find 1.3 as the risk for malignant brain tumor interviewing relatives. This goes up to 1.7 for those who had used more than 176 hours, which was the median number. And now we can again see that the risk goes up with a 10-year latency. It goes up to 2.4, which is significant, and in the highest exposed group, there is almost 3 times increased risk. So excluding from the beginning, those who had deceased didn't conflict or confound our results, because here we see that there is a significantly increased risk also in that group for a malignant brain tumor and use of mobile phones. Number 22 showed the results for cordless phones or DECT, and in that group we didn't find any significantly increased risk, as you can see. Number 23, we here divided in hours of use. First, we have mobile phones on the highest line. The risk 1.2, 1.4, and the risk with more than 2,000 hours of use, 3.4, which is significant. And as you can remember, these figures are almost identical what we found in the group with living cases and controls, the highest risk in the highest exposed group. We can here see also that for the cordless phones, the risk goes up with the number of hours. So there seems to be a tendency more than 2,000 hours. There's a point estimate of 1.7, although significant. Number 24, please. What about the brain tumor incidence in Sweden? It has been argued from some certain groups that there is no belief or truth in the mobile phone issue and brain tumor risk, since there is nothing in the Swedish or Danish cancer registry about increasing incidence. We have looked into that and noted a report recently presented about the quality in the Swedish cancer registry in 1998. And regarding brain tumors, 14% were never reported, and surprisingly, more than doubled, or more than half, more than 100% were never reported from county hospitals, and almost half of the cases never reported from a university hospital. So there seems to be a large underreporting cases to the Swedish cancer registry. We looked into the incidence from 2000 to 2007 for astrocytoma. There was 1.55% increase yearly, and this was especially seen for those who are more 20 years of age, 2.16%. And the true incidence would be higher since there's a large underreporting of cases. There's new statistics from the Nordic countries, and in Denmark there seems to be a drop of the incidence, but they note that only 9% of cases in Denmark are glioma in the cancer registry. In the other Nordic countries it's 30%. So it's large, huge underreporting of cases also in the Danish cancer registry. Number 25. We looked into two regions in Sweden, Gothenburg and Stockholm. And as you can see that in the Gothenburg region, there is a significant increase of the incidence from 2004 and onwards, as compared with Stockholm, where there is almost a decreasing incidence. And the thing is that Gothenburg seems to report also clinical cases much better than to the cancer registry, compared with Stockholm, where there is a large underreporting. So incidence data seem to indicate that there is something going on regarding brain tumors. Number 26, please. Now I will go on to the meta-analysis of so far presented case control studies. First we have regarding glioma, we have 11 studies. Hello?
Mm-hmm.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thanks. Regarding glioma, there are 11 studies, and acoustic neuroma, there are 9, and meningioma, there are 5 studies. Overall, there is no significant increased risk. Number 27. There is the studies for in total using the 10-year latency period. Ipsilateral is 1.9 for glioma, which is a significant result. Contralateral is 1.2. Acoustic neuroma, ipsilateral 1.6, and contralateral 1.2. And meningioma, there is no significantly increased risk. Number 28. If you look into the different studies with 10-year latency periods, you can see that all of them give an increased risk from 1.6 up to 4.4, and overall a double increased risk after 10-year latency. Number 29, this is the results for acoustic neuroma, and again, all of them give increased risk, and we can see that the risk is 1.6 in the meta-analysis for 10-year latency period. Number 30. From that slide you can see the spread and use of mobile phones per subscriber per 100 inhabitants, and the line at the top is for developed countries, which is a penetration about 100% now. And as you can see that the highest increase comes after year 2000. Looking into a 10-year latency period, that reflects the use which was up to late 1990s, and that use was not as high from this slide as you can see. So taking the results, there is the risk that we will have much more cases of brain tumors in the future unless something is done about that. Number 31. So in conclusion, there is a very consistent pattern of an increased risk of glioma and neuroma after 10 years ipsilateral mobile phone use, and the risk is especially high for first use under 20 years of age. Cordless phones are a major source of exposure, and they are neglected in other studies than from our group. And of course we are waiting for the Interphone study results that have not been presented as so far, and they are delayed, seem to be delayed at least 10 years.